Welcome to session 2. This is naming your page to maximize your likes. So how to create a page name that your customers won't just like, but that they will love. And the important thing to understand here is that a great page name can dramatically increase the number of likes that you can get. Thoughtfully naming your page can increase those likes massively. A great page name can automatically increase the likability of your page 10 times to 100 times. And with a wrong name, you may be stuck with a tiny page for life. So here's an example of how to name your page, or two different methods of naming a page. So on the left, we have direct marketing method of naming your page, and on the right, we have the branding method of naming your page. So I had showed you earlier, I have a Facebook page called Costa Rica, and this is an old shot when we had only 300,000 fans, 300,000 likes, and we were marketing our Costa Rica wellness community, which was real estate, so people were purchasing land in our wellness community. And on the right-hand side, this page named Costa Rica Traveler Magazine, actually, they're doing the same thing. It sounds like Traveler Magazine, but really where they make their money is they sell and refer real estate leads. And so we're actually in the same business, essentially competitors. But you can see my page name on the left, Costa Rica versus Costa Rica Traveler Magazine. Well, the direct marketing method of naming my page Costa Rica, I was interested in looking for people who liked Costa Rica. And some of them might have been interested in my community. Now, only a very small number, which is fine though. But we only needed 7 customers. And on the right hand side, Costa Rica Traveler Magazine, they named their page their company and their brand. And you could see that it's a lot harder for them to build lots and lots of fans with a name like Costa Rica Traveler Magazine, because nobody's heard of Costa Rica Traveler Magazine before. Versus Costa Rica, it's the name of the country. Everybody's heard of Costa Rica before. So it made it very easy for me to get new likes by naming my page Costa Rica. Here's another example of direct marketing versus personal branding. So on the left-hand side, you can see our yoga page, and again, back when we had 900,000 likes, naming our page Yoga because we were looking for yoga customers who were interested in doing yoga retreats in Costa Rica. And then on the right-hand side, so again, since this is my business, I named personal branding, I named my page Brett Gregory. Now, it was a lot harder for me to get likes on a page called Brett Gregory than it is on a page called Yoga. So again, the difference between direct marketing and personal branding. So what is the difference, and when should you use it and when should you not? Well, direct marketing is good if you have direct-to-consumer products or services. So like if we're doing our Costa Rica wellness community and we're not going through brokers and we're not looking to sell through third parties, we're looking to sell directly to our consumers, our products and services. It's great for entrepreneurs, small businesses. It's great if you're interested in list building. It can be less valuable. It's not automatically less valuable, but it can be less valuable. And what do I mean by that? Well, my page named Costa Rica, now with 450,000 likes, it would be more valuable to me if that same page was named Costa Rica Wellness, which is the name of my website, or La Jolla Perfecta, which is the name of our community. So if you look on the right-hand side of the column, where branding is, when branding is useful, is when you're trying to market a specific brand, and that is what you're selling. Or if you are your brand. So that's why I named a page Brett Gregory, because I am the face of Attract Customers Now. I am essentially the personal brand, which is the next bullet point, personal branding. It's great for specific products, authors, public speakers, coaches, again, which is what I do, and it can be more valuable. So it's very valuable for me to have 250,000 likes on my page, Brett Gregory. Now, I also, as you can see, I maintain 3 pages. We have the Costa Rica, we have yoga, and we have Brett Gregory. The Costa Rica page and the Brett Gregory page, or the Costa Rica page and the yoga page, are both direct marketing pages, and the Brett Gregory page is the branding page. So what I want you to do is to avoid the biggest mistake that almost everyone makes. If you're a direct marketer, then don't name your page the name of your business, product, or service, or worst of all, your name or your website address. I see people do this over and over and time again. However, if you are building your brand or your personal brand or you as a coach, then go right ahead and use your name. You may expect longer, slower growth in your number of likes, but ultimately it's going to be more valuable to you. So here's another example, direct marketing versus branding. And I purposefully chose the most boring business that I could possibly think of, and which is car insurance. And the reason why is because sometimes I have people who say, well, you know, my business isn't like yoga, and so it's not quite as exciting as yoga or Costa Rica, so how am I going to get lots of fans? Well, your business can't be worse than car insurance. So here's the example here. So if you live in America, you'll probably recognize these names: Geico, Allstate, and Progressive Auto Insurance. And I say you live in America because it's mandatory to have auto insurance, and these companies spend $50 million a year on their advertising. So here's the Facebook pages for branding versus direct marketing. So on the left-hand side, you can see Geico. Well, the reality is there really isn't anybody who's going to be a big fan of a car insurance company. But you can see here on Geico, they have 325,000 likes. And with 325,000 likes, I mean, that's really good, except when you understand that they spend close to $50 million a year on advertising. Then you say, oh, wow, that's not really good. Also, when you compare to the direct marketing, so Allstate is the name of the company in the middle, but they named their page Mayhem. So in direct marketing, you choose a name that is the benefit that your customers are seeking, or in their case, it's the benefit that they're seeking to avoid. It's the thing that they don't want. You don't want mayhem. Now, they have these commercials running that show this guy causing all kinds of mayhem, and they become very popular. So the direct marketing has made it a lot easier for Allstate to get a lot more likes than Geico. And then finally, my favorite way of naming a page is using a combination. And that is what Progressive Auto Insurance has done. So they have this Flo the Progressive Girl is the name of their page, and Flo is this cute, quirky girl who they show on their commercials in the United States and people really like. And they got 5.3 million likes for an auto insurance company. That's impressive. So what has happened here is that they have named their page Progressive in the name of their business, and then they use their timeline cover to put their direct marketing message in. And so it's really a combination. And so what I've found is that if you, in your direct marketing message, if you use words that match the benefit your customers are seeking, that's what's going to help you get a lot more likes from the right kind of audience. And so the question for you is, what is the benefit or solution that your customers are seeking right now? And the key to that is not just the benefit that they're seeking, but what is the benefit that they're willing to pay you for? It's not just what you think they want, it's what are they willing to pull out their credit card and their wallet or their cash and trade you money for the benefit that you provide. What is that result that they want to achieve? And what language are your customers using to describe what they're looking for? And what you want to do is to avoid the mistakes that almost everyone makes when they're putting their marketing together. And you want to meet your customers where they are and not where you are. So let me give you an example. I worked for a large retirement plan advisory service, and there was probably $40 billion of money that we were managing. And the CEO of the company really wanted, and the message was everywhere, all over our marketing materials, that we are measurably different. And so measurably different was one of their taglines. And I went out, I was in charge of business development in the West Coast, and I went out and spoke with about 180 customers. And you know how many of them used the words measurably different? Exactly 0. However, what I discovered when I talked to these customers and I said, what do you really want? What are you trying to accomplish? And for the actual customers, I said, what do you think we do for you? Many of them said, you know, what you guys really do for us is you take us to the next level. And they were saying, and prospective customers saying, you know, we're really looking, it's time to take our retirement plan to the next level. And so if I were consulting, and I'm not consulting with that company right now, but if I were, I would say, don't use the words measurably different, because your customers aren't using those words. Your prospects don't think that. As much as you want to be measurably different, that's not what your customers want, and that's not how they see you. What your customers want is they want you to take them to the next level. So make that your tagline, because that's where your customers are, not where you are. You want to enter the conversation that's already going on in your customer's mind, and you need to know your customer's language. And the only way you can do that, in my opinion, is by talking to your customers. Now, you can also do surveys, and you can also ask questions on Facebook, and all that's good, but there's no better way to find your customer's language than interviewing them and speaking with them. So here is my favorite way of naming a page. Branding. So remember, the branding method of naming my page here is Brett Gregory. It's not like yoga or Costa Rica, which would be direct marketing. So I named my page Brett Gregory because this is my personal brand. And then I use the direct marketing language on my timeline cover. So how did I go about finding this particular language? Well, I spoke to over 60 customers and interviewed them and asked customers, what do you really want? Because the name of my page, actually, my timeline cover used to say Facebook Marketing Zen. So when I first came up with my product, it was called Double Your Likes in Days. And then I noticed, most of my customers are health and wellness and yoga enthusiasts. And then I changed it to Facebook Marketing Zen. And Double Your Likes in Days and Facebook Marketing Zen just really didn't sell well at all, because that's where I was. That was the wording in my mind. I thought, oh, people really want Facebook Marketing Zen. But then I went and talked to over 60 customers, and not one person said, I'm looking for Facebook Marketing Zen to a T. However, what my customers did say is, they said, you know what? I hate Facebook. I hate marketing. I wish I could just focus on doing what I love. I wish I could just teach my yoga classes. I wish I could just lead my retreats. I wish I could just help people and not have to worry about the marketing, and that people would just come to me. It would be great if people would just line up out my door and come to me so that I could just focus on doing what I love. Attract customers. When? Right now. So that was my customer's magic bullet. And those 3 words sound so simple, attract customers now. It was anything but simple to come up with that. But the great thing is I didn't have to come up with that when I named my page, because as my personal brand, my page name is Brett Gregory. So if you have the name of your business is the name of your page, perfectly fine. If the name of your website or the name of your brand is the name of your page, that's perfectly fine, because you can use your timeline cover for your branding message. And so here's another example for the one of the things a lot of my customers were asking for is, give me a live, I would like a live event in person short, and I want to really implement all this stuff. Oh, you want to get it done, like as in a boot camp. Yeah, that's a magic bullet. The cool thing is, as you just saw, I changed my timeline cover. That's the photo, the big photo that goes on the timeline cover here. It has my book in it. In this last picture, it's got the photo of the woman on the computer, an attractive customer looking like we're producing more sales. So the cool thing is you can change your timeline cover as often as you want. You can do it for free, or you can have a professionally designed cover for as little as $5 on Fiverr. And anytime you have a new message, or you have a new event, or a new book, or anything new that's coming up, you can put that in the timeline cover, and it doesn't require you to change the name of your page. It doesn't require you to get multiple pages. It's better to have fewer pages than more, because you can put your money more efficiently into one page than you can spread over 2 or 3. Branding, when you're branding, it's good to use categories for maximum leverage. So if you're direct marketing, you want to avoid using your company or brand name unless your brand is the category, like a Xerox or Kleenex. So, in our case, when we had the direct marketing page name for yoga, yoga is a category. And because we named our page yoga, it gets mentioned a lot all over Facebook. And that has worked to our advantage considerably. Same thing with Costa Rica. It's a category name for maximum leverage, because when people search for when people search for Costa Rica, or they search for yoga, our pages usually are number 1 or number 2 in the search bar. So that's why using categories works very well in direct marketing. So naming your page category can give your page that massive leverage. Using category names for your page, you may be able to get 10 times to 100 times the number of likes. Also, it can optimize your name for search. So Facebook has become the number 3 website in terms of numbers of search, and it's the Facebook search bar where people are searching. And Facebook pages can be found through Google with the page name. Now, don't confuse your page name with your vanity URL. The URL is what goes up top in the actual search bar on your browser. That is different than your page name. Use the category name instead of your product or company name. That will make your page easy for customers to find. So, as an example, I mentioned, if you go and search and you type in yoga in the Facebook search bar, we usually come well up at the top. So we have I mentioned the largest yoga page in the world. The one that's above us, so 3.2 million, that's not a page, that's an interest. That is the Wikipedia interest, so nobody manages that page. It's just an interest. So ours is the yoga page, and because we have 1.1 million likes, it rises to the top usually whenever people type in the yoga search. Not 100% of the time, but most of the time it does. So again, what is direct marketing versus branding? So direct marketing, as this example, one of our clients, Manchego Beach Resort and Spa, this great hotel in the Bahamas, in Aruba, they were looking for more yoga customers. Now, it's a hotel and resort, but they are doing more yoga retreats and more yoga customers. And when we were talking with them, they were saying, gosh, we're having a really hard time getting likes to our page. And I asked them, well, what are your customers seeking? Well, they want to come here for a yoga retreat. In fact, they really want to come here to escape. And so what we decided was they wanted to start a name using the direct marketing technique just so that they can get more yoga customers. So we created a page called Yoga Escape, and they very quickly grew it to 9,000 likes versus their branding page at 1,700 likes. Now, remember I said branding can be more valuable. It would be great if they named a page Manchego Beach Resort and Spa, and that one very quickly got almost 10,000 likes. It would actually be more valuable than the Yoga Escape page to Manchego Resort. However, it was difficult for them to do so, and they found they were spending a lot of money on Facebook ads to get US people to like their page, and that wasn't translating into new customers. However, when they created the page Yoga Escape, it was much easier for them to get new likes to yoga enthusiasts and subsequently drive traffic to their website and get more yoga customers. So that's the difference between direct marketing and branding in terms of how you name your page. And if you've already chosen a page name, don't worry about it. If you've already chosen a page name that is branding and you realize you want to be direct marketing or vice versa, don't worry about it, because you can, one, either use your timeline cover to put in your direct marketing message if you're branding, or you can always start one more new page. And what's important to know is, what are the key words that your customers are searching for when you're creating your branding message or creating your page name? And a great way to do that is to use the Google keyword tool to find out what keywords your customers are searching for. So in if you've never used the Google keyword tool before, just go to Google and type in the word keyword tool and you'll find it. And then the other thing to do is look at what other successful competitors of yours are doing in the marketplace and on their Facebook page. What are the branding messages that are working? Make sure to look at the successful ones and don't look at the ones that are not so successful. You want to create a memorable name, not a cute or catchy name. And if you're trying to promote your brand, you need to offer a serious benefit. You want to create names that promise a benefit, stick in the mind, or answer to emotions. And remember, for my Brett Gregory page, the name of the page is Brett Gregory. So now the branding message that I look for, where I'm creating a name that promises a benefit or sticks in the mind or answers to the emotion, that lives on my timeline cover. And the reason why not to create a cute or catchy name, David Ogilvy, widely known as the King of Madison Avenue, a very famous advertiser and marketer, says, don't try to be too clever. People don't buy from clowns. And this really resonated with me after I read this, after I had tried to market my business as Facebook Marketing Zen, and nobody was buying. And I was just scratching my head wondering why. And, it sounded really clever. And then I came across David Ogilvy, and he said, you know what? People don't want to buy stuff that's cute or clever. They want to buy something that's going to offer a benefit that meets their needs and solves their problem. So don't try to be cute or clever when you're picking your name or your branding message. Name should be short and simple. One-word page names are best. But again, it's not mandatory. I've seen there are plenty of pages out there with 7 or 8 or 9 words in the name that have over 1 million likes. So it's not a hard and fast rule, but the shorter the better as a rule of thumb. Create names that are simple. Definitely want to create simple names, and the shorter and simpler, the easier the page will be to find in a search and to remember. So how do you pick a great name? First off, don't worry if someone else has a page named the page that you want. So I've got a page called Yoga. There are 500 pages with the name Yoga. You could start a page right now called Yoga. There's no limit to that. The only thing that there can only be one of is the vanity URL. So the name at the top when you type into your browser or your search bar. That's the only thing that there can be one of. So if you want to get your name in the vanity URL, you might need to get a little creative. I recommend keeping the vanity URL as short as possible. And if you can't think of a good vanity URL, you can wait. There's no rush to choose your vanity URL. Once you have chosen the vanity URL, though, you're stuck with it. You've got to keep it. But the good news is the vanity URL is not important for the success of your page. So here's the exercise. So take out a pen and a sheet of paper. Here's the 3 questions. Question number 1, what consistent problems or challenges are your customers looking to solve right now? What consistent problems or challenges are your customers looking to solve right now? Number 2, list the top 3 benefits your customer your customers are searching for right now. And consider using the top one as your page name. Or again, if you already have the page name, consider using the top one as the direct marketing message on your timeline cover. Question number 3, what top 3 solutions can you solve for your customers right now? Consider using the top number 1 as your page name. Or again, if you already have your page name, use the top one as the message on your timeline cover. Do that exercise, and we will see you in the next session.